Welcome to The Hypnotist, the show that gives you inside access to cutting-edge hypnosis with real clients facing genuine issues. Brought to you by the hypnotherapist demanded by celebrities, CEOs, and even royalty, Adam Cox. These recordings took place live from Adam's clinic in London's world-famous Harley Street. This podcast features powerful hypnosis, so do not listen while driving or operating machinery. This recording is not suitable for those with epilepsy or severe mental health issues. So, get yourself comfortable and enjoy today's episode of The Hypnotist.
Hi, it's Adam here, and in this episode of The Hypnotist, you're going to be listening to a weight loss hypnosis session specifically to really hone in on what can feel like cravings and compulsions. Cravings and compulsions typically are your intuition's way of keeping you where you are. So imagine that you had to make a new decision about what foods you like every single time you see a food. That would be exhausting. Your brain is looking for shortcuts. So generally, you tend to think about the foods that you've had before and have had some good experience. So if, let's say, it's chocolate or cakes or a glass of wine, and in the past they have given you good emotions, then it makes sense that if you were to reduce the amount of those that you have, that you might have a thought that pops into your head to remind you that these foods or that drink are something that in the past was desirable, and maybe it's desirable now. The fallacy that some people can fall into is the false belief that they have to consume the thing in order to make the cravings or the compulsion go away. And that isn't true. It can feel like it's true, but all that does is self-perpetuate the craving. So you're going to hear a metaphor in this hypnosis session of imagining thoughts like cravings and compulsions a bit like a cockroach. So if there was a cockroach in your kitchen, you would never dream of feeding it to make the cockroach go away, even though that's what might happen. If you saw a cockroach in your kitchen and you gave it some food, maybe it would go away, but guess what? It would come back again and more frequently, and probably with other cockroaches too. And that's kind of what compulsions and cravings are like in terms of thoughts. If you give it the very thing that it's pestering for, expect to have that more and more often. If you're a parent that's listening, you already intuitively understand that if a child throws a tantrum or is whining and whinging in order to request something, the very worst thing you can do is to give that child the thing that it's pestering for, because now you know that in the future you're going to have a lot more pestering and a lot more whinging. That doesn't mean you don't give anything to that child. It just means you give something to the child on your terms when you see the kind of behavior or attitude that you want to reinforce. The same thing goes for your thoughts. If your thoughts are whiny and pestery and you give it the chocolate or the cake at that point, well, then you're going to get a lot more cravings and compulsions. Equally, if you reward your thoughts for when you feel motivated, or you set parameters like, well, I'm going to have a dessert when I'm in a restaurant, or when I feel in a very calm situation, I feel emotionally strong. That's very different from feeling that you're desperate and you're anxious and you're feeding to make emotions go away. Whatever you reinforce, you're going to get more of. So there's a lot of that kind of stuff going on in this hypnosis session, but there's also lots of empowering suggestions about how confidence increases proportionate to quality decisions that you make, that there are always healthier alternatives rather than kind of processed, refined carbohydrates. There's quite a bit going on here, which I think is very conducive to weight loss and healthy decisions in general. If you are struggling with losing weight and you feel like hypnosis may help you, there will be a link in the show notes where you can schedule a free 30-minute call to explore working with me. and I can explain how I work and what I've done for other people on that free call. Alternatively, you might find that you'd benefit from this free session right here, right now. So find a quiet, comfortable place where you won't be disturbed, relax, and enjoy the session. Take a deep breath in. And as you breathe in a resourceful feeling of relaxation. And as you exhale, just allow any feelings of worry or stress or tension to gradually feel like it's leaving your body in your outward breath. Breathing in that calm, serene feeling of relaxation. And enjoying the feeling that as tension leaves your body, you're able to feel deeper and deeper relaxed. That's it. Notice as you slow down your breathing, more of that tension is leaving your body. And as you take a deep inward breath in, a wonderful feeling of resourcefulness goes in through your nose, fills your lungs with the feeling of resourceful, calm confidence, exhaling any stress and worries, enabling you just by breathing in and breathing out to feel deeper and deeper relaxed. That's it. I want you to imagine there is a magical looking house, maybe 3 or 4 stories, right by the side of an incredible lake. And I want you to imagine you're on the top floor, perhaps on a balcony, of this incredible, strange-looking house. Imagine you can look out across the water, and right now you can see choppy waves on the surface of this lake. But I want you to see there are strange, intricate staircases all the way down from the top to the bottom, and the bottom meets the beach, a pebble beach. Imagine breathing in and breathing out, and slowly with each and every breath you take, you will imagine taking one step down all of these different staircases, taking you from the top of this building gradually down. And with each step, allow yourself to feel just 1% more and more relaxed. Breathing in and breathing out, and maybe these staircases are made of marble or wood or brick or even glass, all safe and stable. And just imagine, step by step, walking down all of these staircases, breath by breath, step by step, and imagine feeling you're becoming more and more relaxed. And every now and then, you will be able to see the surface of that lake and notice the lake is becoming calmer and calmer. Perhaps the top floor of this strange-looking house represents your conscious mind. And as you descend, you're delving deeper into your subconscious. the place where changes take place, the place where habits and beliefs are stored. So imagine breath by breath going down the staircases, feeling your arms and legs getting limp, loose, heavy. That's it. Eyelids feeling so very relaxed as you walk down these stairs. Feeling an insatiable desire to yawn as you remember a great yawn that you've had in the past. And it feels so good as you release tension in your muscles around your neck and your shoulders. Feels wonderful as you keep walking down the staircase, getting closer and closer to that pebble beach. That's it. Becoming more and more relaxed, seeing the surface of the lake become calmer and calmer. And when you finally reach the final stair, and you feel your foot reach the pebbles on the beach, let me know by nodding your head. That's it. And notice what was a turbulent surface of that lake now is so still. It looks like glass. And maybe you can see a reflection perhaps of clouds on the surface of that water, maybe the sun. As you look around, maybe you can see majestic mountains. Breathe in and breathe out that fresh air, feeling more and more relaxed. And I want you to imagine picking up one of those pebbles, throwing it into the water, and maybe it skims, or maybe it just hits and immediately sinks. But look at the ripples. Put one point of contact on the surface of that still water. Create ripples that go far beyond the initial point of contact. As you stare into the ripples, allow your mind to be open to new ideas about your relationship with food. I want you to recall a time, perhaps, when you lived somewhere else. Maybe of seeing a cockroach. Perhaps imagine being back in a kitchen. And I want you to imagine what a ludicrous idea it would be to see one cockroach there in that kitchen and decide to feed it so that it goes away. That your intuition intuitively knows that if you feed a cockroach to make it go away, then it will come back more and more frequently, and perhaps with other cockroaches. Your intuition lets you know that the thing to do if you see a cockroach is to remove the cockroach. And I wonder if any cravings or compulsions, which are just thoughts maybe of foods, pop into your mind. The idea that feeding them whatever they're requesting will make them go away is just as ludicrous as feeding a cockroach and hoping it doesn't come back when it's hungry again. From this point forwards, a compulsion, a craving for a food will unlock a feeling of defiance, of stubbornness. The very reason that they are pestering means you're not going to give them what they're pestering for. You will give them what they want if you decide to, and when you will decide to, not simply because they are pestering and whining and insisting that you do what they want. And if your unconscious agrees that cravings and compulsions are just thoughts pestering, cockroaches demanding, scavenging for food, and you will not reward that behavior, let me know it by nodding your head. That's it. And in doing so, you become more in control, and the more in control you feel, the more confident, and the more you become the captain of your own ship in your life. So find yourself there on that lake, staring out at the still lake, and now see a boat. And imagine you are the captain of that boat on that still lake. Feel that you are empowered, in control. Imagine placing an anchor, so you're now on a still boat on a still lake, feeling rested and relaxed. And I want you to consider the idea that indulging in certain foods, perhaps like refined carbs, may contribute to unwanted weight over time. That just like a captain on the ship, they don't drift wherever the tides and currents take them. They make conscious choices where they want to go, and I want you to unlock that ability within you. That you can make conscious choices to decide who you are and where you want to be. Recognize that, much like many other areas of your life, when it comes to food, quality outweighs quantity. That it's better to have less of better quality than more of poor quality. And what if treats hold their value, their true value, only when they're enjoyed in a joyous social setting, making them genuine treats to the soul? Maybe that's a slice of cake, a chocolate dessert, maybe even a glass of wine. That these things improve your ability to enjoy the emotion connected to them when they are shared with other people. And what if you were to consider any solitary indulgences not as a treat, but as a poor quality coping mechanism that doesn't serve your true needs? Every time you consume low quality foods, maybe you find evidence within your life that it's draining your energy, your mood and self-perception, making you feel low quality. But alternatively, each and every time you choose foods rich in nutrition, you feel it nourishing not just your body, but also elevating your self-worth and self-esteem. Some people imagine their body as a temple, deserving of only the finest and most wholesome nourishment. Recognize the profound connection between what you eat and how you feel, allowing it to guide your choices. So feel like you're on that boat on that still lake, and now imagine, just within your imagination, you're back in your home, maybe in your kitchen, around the kind of places you would normally eat. And acknowledge the idea that when you honor your body with high quality foods, you're also honoring your self-worth and commitment to your health. You can visualize unhealthy cravings as fleeting whispers. And when you hold strong and ignore them, they will fade away, leaving you empowered and in control. You can feel the sense of pride and accomplishment that comes from making conscious, healthful choices, feeling more and more in control of your life, as you realize that every positive choice you make regarding food moves you closer and closer to your desired weight and well-being. Because what if you looked at certain foods like cake or chocolate or wine, not as the impact of a single slice of cake or a single glass of wine, but as the combined yearly consequences on your body? What if you were to see these foods contributing 25 kilograms worth of body fat? Wouldn't it encourage you to find healthy alternatives, or to choose to consume these foods or drinks in less frequent occasions? As you move towards healthier eating habits, just imagine your body responding with gratitude, vitality, high confidence and high self-esteem. Consider that the true essence of food is to nourish, sustain, and fuel, and allow this to guide and navigate your relationship with it. And every now and then, whether it's through mood or something else, when faced with temptations, what if you were to pause and ask yourself, is this truly a treat or just a momentary escape? And allow the answer to guide you, to listen to a voice of your intuition you've been ignoring, because there is a part of your unconscious that already knows the best choice. And as those voices that encourage you to seek out pleasure get quieter, the voices that trust and empower you to move your life in a powerful, profound direction become louder and more influential. Because you already know that every meal and every mouthful is an opportunity to either uplift or to deplete your energy and mood. You can feel a sense of inner strength and determination each time you resist the urge to indulge in foods that don't serve your goals. As you visualize the foods that truly nourish you as beams of light, energizing, revitalizing, and uplifting you, you get a sense of just how much choice there is. There is infinite fruits and vegetables and combinations. There is no shortage of food, but high-quality, nutritious foods will lift you up, and low-quality, refined foods, processed foods, will drag you down. As you understand that the joy from indulging momentarily can no longer and never really compare to the lasting joy of feeling great in your own body. So as you celebrate every moment of resilience against cravings as a victory, a step closer to living life on your terms at your target weight, you revel in the understanding that your relationship with food can be a partnership, a collaboration, a beautiful dance of nourishment and pleasure. Feel like you're back on that boat, sailing into the pebbly shore, as you feel the weight lifting, both physically and emotionally, as you make choices aligned with your own health goals. Leave the boat, feel yourself on the shore. Maybe you can feel the pebbles underneath your feet. Just allow yourself the freedom to enjoy occasional treats, but always from a place of joy and celebration, never from a place of need or compulsion. Imagine re-entering that house and starting to walk up those intricate staircases all the way to the top floor, while embracing the journey of nourishing your body with love, knowing that with each positive choice, you're crafting a healthier, happier you. Keep climbing those staircases until you're right on the very top floor, and when you arrive on the top floor, perhaps on a balcony overlooking the lake, the mountains, feeling lighter and feeling that changes with your relationship with food have now taken root, let me know by nodding your head. It's now time to return to the present, accepting that this has been a journey inside your imagination, where thoughts were in thoughts, ideas inside ideas, and dreams within dreams, as you now return to the present, taking a deep breath in through your nose and out through your nose. Just wiggle your fingers, wiggle your toes, fully connecting with the present moment. As very soon I count from 1 to 10 to awaken you, you will awaken feeling resourceful, inspired, but on guard against those cockroaches of cravings and compulsion, starting to count to awaken you. 1, 2, 3, waking up. 4, 5, 6, more alert. 7, 8, open your eyes, open your eyes. 9, 10, wide awake, wide awake, wide awake.
Thank you for listening to The Hypnotist with Adam Cox, the show that gives you inside access to cutting-edge hypnosis with real clients facing genuine issues. To automatically receive the latest episodes, please subscribe. If you'd like to support the show, please share this episode with just one friend you think it could help. And if this episode helped you, please leave us a 5-star review.